Namaste children, welcome back to social science class. Children, in the previous class we had already learnt about the fundamental rights like right to equality and right to freedom. So in today's class let us learn about the right against exploitation. Right against exploitation. Okay children, so the objective of this right against exploitation right is to prevent exploitation of poor, women, children and the weaker sections of the society. All the weaker sections of the society, as well as you all know children, the poor people and women and children, to prevent exploitation. This is mainly right against exploitation. And in order to restrict exploitation in the name of religion, caste, gender, and sect, the state and central governments have enforced many laws. Many laws they have enforced, and for example, I can tell you children, can you see this picture? What is this? Giving and taking dowry is an offense. See, taking dowry is a punishable offense. These are the laws brought by the state and central government. They have enforced them. And also, the practice of bonded labor is prohibited. You can see here. These are all bonded laborers who are working under the rich people. And employing children in certain industries such as beadi making, mining, and cracker manufacturing, all these have been banned children. You know, this when it explodes, what an amount of loss takes place in the lives of the children. So, employing children in many industries, and not only industries, and even they are not supposed to be employed below the age of 14 years, and the children are expected to get education till the age of 14 years. That is why a right to education, in that they have given now RTE, what we call right to education, the free education is given. Even in the private schools also some percentage of free education is given for those students. That is the reason. And the next is the freedom of religion, right to freedom of religion. The citizens of India have the right to accept and also follow religion of their own choice. It may be Christianity, Hinduism, or Sikhism, Buddhism, any religion. They have got their own choice. They can follow. Everyone has the right to observe their religious practices, but without disturbing peace, discipline, and hygiene in mind. You might have seen so many Rath Yatras takes place. Hindus and Christians also, sometimes they will have these car festivals, and Muslims, they also they will gather in one place and celebrate. This is quite everybody, they celebrate children, but they should not disturb peace, discipline, and also they should keep in mind the hygiene. The Constitution also prohibits religious conversion by force, temptation, or by falsehoods. Some of the religious people, they will give some of the temptation by we give that this, you join to this our religion, all that they will do, or by force they will make, and they are not supposed to do all these. The constitution is prohibiting religious conversion by force, temptation, or by falsehoods. And you can see here cultural and educational rights, children. This cultural and educational right protects the cultural and educational interest of the minorities. You may be knowing about the minorities, children, those who are the people, less people living in one area, belonging to one kind of people, they are called minorities. Like maybe here, see in Karnataka, some Jains will be living, Christians, Muslims, they will be minorities. Like that, it will be minorities for that particular place. Some people will be minorities. So, the fundamental right of this cultural and educational right is they will protect the cultural and educational interest of the minorities. The people have right to protect their own language, script or culture. The minorities have the right to establish educational institution and manage them. You might have seen, children, even in Karnataka, in our own Bangalore, you can see Urdu schools are there, Christian schools are there, educational institutions are there, Tamil mediums are there. Like that, they can any religious people or the minority people, they have got the right to establish educational institutions and also manage them. The educational institutions of the minorities should adhere the rules stipulated by the government. Whatever the rules has been given to them, they also must follow the rules which are given by the government. And next comes the right to constitutional remedies. A citizen has the right to approach the court of justice in the event of violation of the fundamental rights. This is known as a right to constitutional remedies. See, in any case, a citizen has got the right to approach the court of justice when any violation of his fundamental rights and other rights can be protected by way of protecting this right. Fundamental rights and duties mean, see children, they are fundamental rights and duties are of the two faces of the same coin, we can say. They are directly given to the citizens by the constitution. Any individual, organization or institution such as parliament, assembly, judicial means, official group, police department and any other public institutions are restricted from violating them. Nobody can violate these rights. In the event of violation, the aggrieved person can directly approach the High Court or the Supreme Court and seek redressal. If any person, like maybe parliament, assembly, judicial means, official group, police department, any other public institution, if they violate the rights of the citizens, that particular citizen can directly approach the High Court or the Supreme Court and seek the redressal. In the event of violation of the fundamental rights and duties, a writ petition can be filed either in the state High Court or in the Supreme Court of India. So now what all we have learned, children? What are the 6 rights we have learned? Right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, right to constitutional remedies. Okay children, thank you.